Morning, everybody. What's going on? Happy Monday. Happy Monday. Got a little snow last night. Actually, everything looks beautiful. It's white, clean. It's not grubby and wet and dirty and muddy. And I don't really have anything specific to talk about this morning. I was going to recap the weekend a little bit. I did get out fishing yesterday. Took me a little while to motivate myself to walk out there, but I did it. And I had fun. I caught a perch. I was only out there a couple hours. I drilled 3 sets of holes. Once I get to the job today and remember to put my morning Merlin, Eric. And once I remember to bring my big hammer drill back home with me, it'll make the popping holes much easier. That thing zips. I have an adapter that just hooks to my regular 6-inch Strike King blade, and it zips it right through. It's great. It's great. And I probably got to touch up the blades after yesterday, seeing that it didn't cut as nicely as I'd like it to. But morning, Paul, Mark, Rick. So I got out there yesterday. I fished the South Shore. Shoreline was shot yesterday when I left. Really. I had 5 inches of good, solid, clear black ice out in the mouth of South Bay. I was out off the yacht club over that way, between the yacht club and the that was in Big Bay. Okay. That was in, it was about, I wasn't quite halfway between the yacht club and the islands. And there was 30, 40 guys out there, and everybody was in a shanty, but then you started to see people pop out and go looking, which usually means it's slow, at least in my experience. You see guys out walking around there. I'd much rather be comfortable in my shanty, everything right in front of me, fully set up. I never set my shanty up yesterday. It's a hub style. And it's a big 5-man hub, which is wonderful to fish in, but I didn't have my drills, so I didn't have the ability to pop holes, and I also didn't have the ability to put anchors down in. Now, there wasn't much wind yesterday, but there was enough that it would have moved that big hub on me. And setting it up by myself, I can do with 2 good arms. I don't know that I want to wrestle with that thing. With an ailing wing. And, my hope this year, I just didn't get on it fast enough. My hope this year was I was looking to get a nice Otter 2-man flip over, 2 or 3-man, but a 2-man flip over. That way it's big enough. It's big enough that, say, Courtney and I have room for the day and we can stand up and move around a little bit. Or if I have somebody with me, Beaker, or if I have somebody with me, there's enough room for all my camera gear to be set up, and I had the only thing I have right at the moment. Good morning, no meetings. Well, that's a good way to start a Monday off. I just went on Amazon and I broke one of my GoPro phone mounts. I broke the piece underneath that hooked to the GoPro mount. So I just went on Amazon and bought a couple more of those. And I was looking around, and they had the Garmin Ice Caddy. It's the everything's all entwined. You can put your own head in there. So I have the head off my boat because I don't I don't leave it on the boat in the wintertime when I store it. And it's got all my numbers and everything right in it and all my maps. So I for the last 3 years, I've been like, oh, geez, I'll spend the money. I don't know how much I'll use it. Well, I'm gonna finally buy one. And it's funny, they have two different ones. If anybody else out there runs Garmin, let me know. They have two different ones with two different transducers. There's basically a GT8 and a GT10 ice fishing transducer, and it's double the price from the 8 to the 10 for the bag. So it comes with battery, charging cable, all the connector cables, the transducer, the bag, and the mount. Um, and the one with the GT8 was like $170, and I'm like, no, that's not bad. And then you see the next one, you're like, oh, well, that's better. But is it worth double better? I don't know. And I'd have to go and look up the transducers, and which I will. I won't, I've got them both in my cart, but I'm going to pull the trigger on one of them today, so I have it for this coming weekend. But yesterday I had my Markham camera down. This snow won't help the ice making. It won't, but there's not a lot of snow. Out here at my house on the river, oh, we got maybe 2 inches last night, 2 to 3 tops. So it's not like we got 1.5 foot and it'll insulate it and keep it from building. But boy, we don't have any cold weather. I mean, real cold weather coming. Let's do this together. Let's do this together. So this is my Central Square weather this week. Today, 33, low of 31. Tomorrow, high of 35, low of 24. Wednesday, high of 31, low of 30. Thursday, high of 34, low of 18. Friday, high of 29, low of 20. Saturday, 36 and 23. Sunday, 33 and 25. Like, that's not, that forecast will keep the ice that we have. Although there was open water out there yesterday. I saw a big piece of open water when I drove around past Aero Marina down in the back of South Bay right there. Way down in the bay, and there were guys fishing pretty close to the edge of it, right off the what would have been the east side of Aero Marina. I know in the spring they get massive. I mean, as big as your hand sunnies, like those ones we caught all summer out in deep water. I would love to get on one of those bites through the ice somewhere. I'm a big fan of sunfish. They're, especially those giants, those big bulls that we get out there all summer long. Man. Paul Messina, good morning. Eric. George Parson, good morning. Jim Carker, good morning. Scott Tagata, good morning. Tomas Gratkowski. Man, let me know if I got even close to that. Pumpkin seeds. Yeah. Sorry, they're not sunfish. So I went out yesterday. I had somebody ask me in the comments if I have live scope on the ice. No, I don't. Like I said, I was just talking about getting my Garmin unit portable ice bundle for the rest of the season. I do have a lot of stuff going on the rest of this season. We're going to go to Quinny. We're going to Chameau. Boy, I saw some big fish coming out of Chameau over the weekend with some pictures. The guys made it out to Johnson's and saw one that looked like it was they didn't say, it's funny, they didn't say an exact weight, but they said it set the new something record for a derby that's going on up there. Pardon my ignorance. Those portable setups coupled with a Garmin 73. Yeah. Yep, they do. You can and it'll tell you everything that they're compatible with, but you could put a striker in there. You could put a 73 or a 93 in there. So yeah, it's all the same pin system. For the transducers, that's really the biggest thing. That power's power. You can power it up with anything. I power mine up in my without a transducer. I just power mine up. I had it with me yesterday. Not that I needed it yesterday, but if I was going to go searching with better ice out off 133 and through that big flat, then I would have had it. I would have definitely had it with me, and I can power it up with just a RC car battery, and put it on the prongs, and it's you can run your fish finder for days on that. You're not up against the hard window of it's only going to last just so long. So yeah, live scope on the ice. I watched a ton of videos. Some guys, it's just more than I'm going to spend right now. It's to get a basic setup for the ice, a portable one, and then of course once you have it portable, I'm going to want it on the boat too. And my new boat will most likely have it, and so I will have something figured out to where it is also portable for the ice, and then that's a little different. Then it's a little then it's working for you year round. You can divide that cost by how much you should get out of it in soft water or hard water, and then that's a little different. Now you're going to change things, and you can, to me that's a little better justification. If I was rich instead of so goddamn good looking, then yeah, I would probably have one of those setups already. I guess I just have to stick with the looks for right now. Jim Carker, does everyone jig, or is it a mix of tip ups and jigging? That is so personal to each person. I don't own tip ups. I haven't in years. But So I'll say to you all, I grew up on Oneida Lake since I was a kid. It was never my first location to go ice fishing. I have fished out there a lot in years past, especially when I was younger, and I've caught a lot of walleyes. Stick with the looks. And I've caught a lot of walleyes through the ice out here. I don't know that I've ever jigged. I got to really think about that. I don't know that I've ever jigged a walleye through the ice. In those days, we used to run tip ups and tip downs. And I don't really remember the last time I was on the ice fishing tip ups and tip downs. I was with my buddy Kevin Davis and Captain Jimmy Staves, and we went out off of Cleveland and we drilled, seemed like 100 holes, and had stuff baited and out there, and we were running around all day long with walleyes and perch on tip ups and tip downs. I used to have a whole box full of tip downs. I don't even know where they are anymore. So it all depends on what you want to do. Now, some people I fish with nowadays in the last couple of years, my niece's family, her and her husband, they're tip up fishermen. He's always running and checking baits and stuff, and they live up north and they fish black and red and moon, and they're typically pike fishermen. So they're running tip ups. Most of my ice fishing has been perch related. I'm a perch head on the ice, big time. What do you want? You guys are gonna love this. Friends of ours are on vacation, and let's see. Come here, Mila. Come here. And we are dog sitting. Come here, baby. Come here, right here. Say hi to everybody. This is, oh, look at this. Oh, dog germs. Oh, look at that face. Look at that face. Oh, look at that face. Oh, okay, get down. Bad girl. Oh, you give it an inch, they take a mile. Get down. So we're dog sitting for the week. And, we lost our boys last spring. And I'm going to tell you that she is such a joy. You don't realize how much love your dogs give you until they're gone. And it leaves a big fat hole in your heart. And everybody in my house, Courtney, both the kids, we have enjoyed every moment. She's been here since Wednesday, and she'll be here all this week until Saturday while her family's on vacation someplace warm, and we are just loving having her. She's a sweetheart of a dog, absolute sweetheart. It reminds me so much of my Tucker in a lot of ways, just the female version. But yeah, she was poking around. I thought I'd show everybody. Heartache is right. It was a tough. It's been a tough year. I miss the two of them terribly every day, every single day. Think Oneida, Big Dan. Think Oneida is done for the year ice fishing. No. I think it's just getting started. God, people got to be careful, man. There is still open water out there, and now with a little bit of snow cover, you're not going to be able to see it quite as well as you think. Please be careful. I don't want to lose anybody unnecessarily. And anytime you would lose somebody on the ice, that's unnecessary. So please be careful. Know where you're going. Have your safety equipment with you and all that fun stuff. But take care of yourself. I mean, this is, it's the 23rd of January, and we're just talking about being able to get on the ice, which I know sucks. And a lot of us have a lot of money invested in ice fishing gear, and you were dying to get out there and use it. I'm not dying for anything except old age. So just be careful. Nothing is better than watching my kids run across the ice, slipping and sliding toward a flag. Yeah, flags are exciting. Can I help you? No, I was joking. I didn't really want to help you. What? You think you're my co-host now? Yeah. You think you're the pretty girl that's going to come on and make all the guys swoon for you? Big blue eyes. Go lay down. Bad dog. These are the years. It's 5 inches one spot, 2 inches next, even in the safe areas. Yes, I know. Which is why I'm telling people to use extreme caution. So, all right. So let's move on. So yeah, I did fish yesterday. I started close to the drop. I was right up on top of the drop off the yacht club in let's call it 10 foot of water. And I could see where I was because I had my Markham camera down. And it does have the ability to record the feed that it's showing. But I'm not gonna lie, it is terrible quality. Courtney and I did it last year because I got it for Christmas last year. We did it last year multiple times. The format that it saves that video in is a weird format, and you have to. There's like 3 steps with it, and then the footage is not great that it records. So I was trying yesterday to get it set up to where here was the Markham screen, and then I had the GoPro like this, right in front of it. But being outside, there was glare, and so I couldn't do that. It didn't work. But I would like to. I will have set up once my Garmin unit is going. I'll have a camera that's set right on that in real time, and you'll do picture in picture down here, and you'll watch. But that camera's great. So the first 2 sets of holes I drilled, I fished there 20-ish minutes and jigging everything I could find, in my box, trying to call some fish in. I never saw fish in either of those first 2 sets of holes. The third set, I was out over the drop off in 14-ish foot of water. And I didn't see anything, and I went through my progression of jigs, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to put a blade bait down. I love blade baits. You guys know that. So I put that Rudy Tooty, that new one that Mike gave me. I get it down to the bottom, and I'm watching on my camera, and I'm boy, within a minute or two, here come perch right in, flying in, and I stopped like this, and it went and just woofed it, and I caught one right off the bat. And then I took a picture of it, and the whole time I got one eye on my camera, and there's 4 or 5 perch right around the camera. By the time I got back down there to them, they were gone because I was worried about taking a picture and posting it on social media and checking my cameras and stuff, all for a perch. But it was the first fish I caught through the ice this year. And then I fished another hour in that spot, and I had perch come in 2 more times that weren't interested, and they stayed long enough that I pulled one, lure out of the hole and dropped another rod down and like this, and it was that was it, and by that time it was getting to be noon, and I'm like, oh, I'm good. I'm good. But and I scratched that itch a little bit. I was going to go back out this morning, but I've got to finish this bathroom this week. I've been saying it now for 2 weeks, but I'm going to tell you, that tile job I did was like putting together a 10,000 piece puzzle with puzzle pieces this big. I mean, these little tiny tiles, they were 3x9 tiles, and I'll bet you there's 150 of them in that shower. My eyes were starting to cross. I had my Bosch laser level, and I'm checking every single cross line like this every time I lay one to make sure it's perfectly straight, because if not, this whole thing wanted to move. Man, that was so everything is laid. Today is grout, and then floor and baseboard trim, and we're done. We set a few fixtures and we're done, which is great. But man, that tile job took me forever. Morning, John Burrows. Ice fishing and beer equal tip over. Oh, Bob. Yeah, nobody wants to lose a dog. Dogs are special. And she came back over right now. She's got her head on my knee looking at me. I don't know what she wants. She's been out 3 times. She's had food. She wants to go out and play with the ducks is what she wants. Sports show at Fairgrounds this weekend. Maybe some deals hosted by Runnings. Yeah, Joseph. Yes, but let me tell you, to that end, that February 11th we're doing the Ice Bowl, and I'm working diligently on getting every big tackle shop vendor that still has ice fishing equipment left to come and set up and maybe do like a blowout clearance event while we're doing seminars. Yeah, those guys, CT. Yes, we are. I'm just talking about it right now, Mike. So we have vendors already lined up for the Ice Bowl on February 11th. I'm looking to get more. If anybody has connections at any of these tackle shops, have them get in touch with me because I have room. I'd love to have them set up, and maybe this will be a blessing in disguise if these bigger tackle shops want to bring all of their remaining ice inventory and blow it out and we have 300-400 guys show up and cash bar and food and some great seminars and some good things to buy. We'd have a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun. Dog smells your breakfast in your beard. I haven't had breakfast yet, so I ain't smelling nothing. So that's my ice fishing yesterday, and that's the ice bowl. Something else that took up a lot of my time this weekend, which was really great, was the playoffs. 4 games this weekend, and let's see, 4 games this weekend. I don't remember what my picks were. I had Cincinnati, so I won that one. I had the Eagles, I won that one. I had the 49ers, I won that one. Oh, I lost Kansas City and the Jags. I had the Jags. And the Jags had their chances, let me tell you. I said it yesterday quickly. I think the Jags are here to stay. I think the AFC is just loaded with really, really good young quarterbacks. Merlin, my Bills choked. I'm not going to say that the Bills choked. They had a few chances, but not many. Cincinnati dominated them on the line, both sides of the ball, and went into Buffalo's house and beat them thoroughly. And I don't know what Buffalo's going to do in the offseason to figure out how to stop that. But for the second year in a row, when everyone expected it to be, Patrick Mahomes against Josh Allen, it's going to be Patrick Mahomes against Joe Burrows. And so far, Joe Burrows is up 1. Yeah, we shot ourselves in the foot as a Jags fan. Gusher juice, yes. Yeah, you guys had chances. You guys had real chances, especially when Mahomes got hurt. But I give the kid credit. I give the kid credit. Mahomes showed he was tough. I mean, really tough, like an old school football player, that they used to show those pictures when we were kids, even of the Dick Butkus era. These guys are bloody and taped up and stuff. Like this dude was tough. And I see him at one point, the cameraman didn't, don't think meant to, but you could read Mahomes' lips just as clear as a bell, talking to his head coach and who must have been the head trainer or doctor. And he goes, "I'm not effing coming out of the game," and said it like 5 times, and then stormed off. Now eventually he did for that one series, and they took him back to the locker room, which is smart. He's the franchise player, and they got to make sure that something's not broken in there. They say it's a high ankle sprain, and I hope he comes back and is ready to play his absolute best Sunday against the Bengals, because not only are they going to need it, but I want to see it. I want to see those guys full strength go head to head and really, really get at it. On the NFC side, 49ers and Eagles. I think the Eagles are the best team that no one's talking about. I think Jalen Hurts has done things this year that no one's really paid attention to. They seemingly just walked through the NFC. The NFC East, which was good this year, they dominated that, and all of the NFC. And if it wasn't for Hurts getting hurt late in the season, they would have been a 1-loss team going into the playoffs. So I like the 49ers. I like that rookie Purdy. He's pretty good. Boy, he made some great throws yesterday. Never looked rattled. They never. That Dallas defense that played really well. I mean, that they did. That Dallas defense played really well yesterday. And for most of the game, for 3/4 of it, they played well enough to win it. Their offense let them down, but then again, San Francisco was playing defense really well. I'm curious to see what happens next week between the two of them. I don't know who I'm going with. I'm going with the Bengals. I can tell you that right now. I'm taking the Bengals right now early, and I think I'm taking the Eagles. even though I really like the Niners. I really like what they're doing. I really like their physicality. I like their defense. Um, and I also like Jalen Hurts and that Philly defense and everything. So I've got going into this weekend before the games are played. I've got Cincinnati and Philadelphia. And I think the Bengals win it this year. I think if you let this kid get back again, he's going to win it. Come hell or high water, I think if you let Burrows go back there again, he's coming home with that trophy. Um, because I think last year sat in his craw like uh, like nobody's business. Faith in my Jays. Just Paul, good morning. I know you want to see the Jets in the playoffs next year. No, I don't. Mm-mm. No, no. It's funny. One of the probably the number two team that I dislike behind the Bills being number one is the Jets. Yeah. And if you're a Jets fan, just Paul, then you remember the old days because Miami could beat everybody by 100 points, and we'd play the Jets, and you'd have Richard Todd as God, and he would play a game of his life against the Dolphins, and the Jets would beat us, And the Jets always sucked. I mean, I don't want to say that. There were years that they were good. I don't remember if they ever went to the playoffs, like back in the Joe Klecko era and stuff like that. Um, but yeah, no, I don't like the Jets. Me no likey the Jets. Brian, way the game is played today, teams may want to put most of their cap space in offensive players. Can't play defense anymore. Everything is a penalty. Yeah, yeah. And there were some. Hey, listen. Did anybody see that uh, the catch Jamar Chase makes against the Bills in the end zone? Um, that throw and catch was one of the best I've ever seen. And the fact that they overturned that after dissecting it down to the millisecond that no human eye could have ever seen, that kid caught the ball, got both feet down, and had control of it going all the way to the ground. And then they're saying, "Oh, that it moved." Well, of course it moved. I mean, he was in the process of going like this to like this. Of course it's going to move, but that didn't mean he had any less control over it. And even when that defender came down and swiped through it, that ball never touched the ground and he still maintained it. So how much more maintaining a catch do you need? And that's just one that I saw. It's funny. We everything wants to come down to the fraction of a millisecond, but I don't know. You lose something in the game like that. Now, thankfully, it didn't cost the Bengals the game because that was a touchdown, and they overturned it. But Mahomes is special, and Kelsey is a matchup nightmare. Oh, that big tight end that they've got is absolutely a nightmare. Bengals Eagles Super Bowl. Yeah, I'm with you, buddy. Last thing from the weekend. Where are we at? We're at a half an hour. We're going to make this quick. How many people got this in the mail? You know what? It's funny. I know it's Bass Pro Shops, and I know when you go to Bass Pro Shops, they have a whole walleye area. It's funny though how most people, if you look at national media, only think you can catch walleyes by trolling crankbaits, or stick baits or whatever you're trolling. Doesn't matter. Um, I didn't troll. I didn't troll once all season. Not because I don't like it. I just wasn't set up for it. Um, and I've spent my lifetime trolling. I do love to troll. Um, Out on Lake Ontario, all that fun stuff. Um, Gusher, we're having the Ice Bowl at the Pier Restaurant, same place we did the Double Live year-end event. It's right next to the bridge in Brewerton, right across the bridge from the waterfront on the west side. But yeah, a lot of people are, in this world, and a lot of big walleyes get caught trolling because, especially in the Great Lakes and some of the monster lakes or rivers um, throughout the Northeast and the Midwest, you have um, you have so much water, you got to cover it effectively and find them. And so trolling big baits um, catches a lot of fish. But the first 6 pages of the first 6 pages of a walleye section that's only it's only 8 pages long is just stick baits. And then you get into a few jigging baits, but not much. Um, and then you're right back to everything showing for trolling situations. Um, so we know different. And listen, the guys that troll, even out here in Oneida, I've spent hours and caught hundreds of walleyes trolling, or more, trolling Oneida. Um, every day when I'm jigging, especially if you're jigging in deep water, and if you have one of your graphs on full column, you'll see those fish up around 12 to 15 feet almost every day, all day. And those are suspended walleyes that are up there chasing high bait. Now you can cast to them and count down a swim bait, or count down or cast a plug and count down a crankbait. And there's plenty of stuff now that'll dive to 20 plus feet, let alone 10 to 15. And trolling will be something I do more in the new boat this year, no question. Because some places you go, you got to find them first and let those rods be your guide. But it's just funny that when you look, everything I do is so concentrated on jigging for these walleyes that when you see all these stick baits, and a lot of them are cool. Like these cool color patterns nowadays are crazy. The amount of detail and some of the stuff and some of these crazy color patterns that you think, 20 years ago, maybe not even, you did simple color patterns on stick baits. They were silver and blue, silver and black, fire tiger, perch. You had 4 or 5 standard patterns that were really all you trolled. Now, man, you got every color under the rainbow and more, and things that you look at and you're like, man, I can't even imagine something eating this and not being scared and running the other way, because what do you think it looks like? But they catch fish. Okay, guys, I think that's good. We talked about a few things. I think I'll be back out on the ice tomorrow morning early, and we'll go from there. It was great to finally see Damar Hamlin's face and hear him speak. Yeah. I think that kid's bound for greatness. I assume that what happened will end his football career forever. But boy, he seems like he is so full of love and life, and now coming back from something like that, I have a feeling he's going to do great things, and really try to help the world and spread some love to everybody out there, which is a wonderful thing to do. I speak from experience. I try to do that on a daily basis to bring a little bit of joy, a smile to someone's face, a tidbit that they might use later on in some way to catch an extra fish, to have a little more fun, to think a little differently about life, or the circumstances they might be in. But there's nothing wrong with spreading love around the world. That's for sure, because it needs it. And so do we all. So yes, it was nice to see that moment on TV yesterday and hear the guys talk about him and hear that he talked to his team and everything. So, all right, I'm going to wrap it up today, guys. I'm going to get out of here. You guys have a great week. Have a great Monday. If you start your week great, chances are it'll end great. So thanks, everybody. Have a great day. Love you guys. Keep your tip up.